I hope I'm live this time, and I hope there's no problem with the video this time. So I'm gonna check the audio for a little bit. So my name is Joanna Daniel. If you are just joining me and you've never heard me before, my name is Joanna Daniel, and I am a counselor and I work with adult survivors of childhood trauma and abuse. I also run conferences and retreats and courses for people who are provide a safe space for people to heal. So this is my take two video, and I'm trying to check if my audio is working because the last one, the audio wasn't very great, and I had to delete it. I think this one's going to be better anyway. So, but I'm trying to see if you can hear me. If you're on and you can hear me, just say hello. Just give me a hello in the comment section, and I know that I can see that somebody's here live. So I want to talk about a really important, really, really important topic, um, trauma and relationships. I'm not seeing my live video. Honey, can you see if you see my live video, please? So yeah, so trauma and relationships, really, really crucial, important topic. And I do courses, and one of my favorite course is Parenting After Trauma. I'm not here to talk about parenting after trauma. I'm here to talk about relationships in general and how important it is for when we've experienced trauma that we process that and we start the journey of healing, because when we don't do that, our relationships suffer. All of our relationships, our our parenting, our romantic relationships, our interpersonal relationships suffer when we've experienced it, because the research shows that people who've experienced trauma people tend to not have secure attachment. I'm going to say that, tend to not have secure attachment. And when you have secure attachment, you're able to have a balance of good relationships. You can um, connect with people quite, easier than people who have a different attachment patterning. But when you've experienced trauma, it's very rare. It's the exception that people who've experienced trauma have secure attachment. So I'm here thinking, if the statistics are so high, if in just one area of trauma, never mind, and I'm talking about sexual trauma, never mind other stuff like abandonment and rejection and living with a parent with mental health, or surviving the parent's separation or divorce, or any one of those things that we've experienced, how crucially important it is for us to be able to process those things, and for us to be able to, okay, I can see it now. Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Nikki. How much important it is for us to process those things. Now, here is what I know. I know that there's a culture of silence around trauma, around our pain. And there are many women who are really high achieving women. We are building empires. We are um, climbing the career ladder. We are, reaching the pinnacle of success professionally, career wise, academically, but our relationships are suffering. We don't have a good track record when it comes to relationships, because the stuff that is unprocessed, when we don't process and we are locked in, there is this fear for some. What if they find out who I am? If they really know who I am, they won't want to have relationships with me. And so we do surface relationships. We have no secure attachments, no secure connection with anyone in our lives. People come and go. People are long term, short term people in our lives. And we tell ourselves things to comfort ourselves, like, they were only here for a season. It was them, they did this or they did that. And we comfort ourselves with things that are not true. We comfort ourselves with things that are not true because we're hiding. We're hiding from the real truth. And the real truth is this thing happened, but I'm afraid to deal with it. And that fear stops you from progressing in relational aspect. And so even though you're successful, you're lonely, because there's nobody who you're closely connected with. And you know that at nights when the books are gone away and everything else is gone, that it's just you and those thoughts. And especially now, like, the social engagements, you can attend parties and not have to connect with anyone too closely. And those things have all disappeared, and we're kind of only left with ourselves. And it's, how are you living with yourself now when all the distractions, most of the distractions that we used to have, are taken away? Now, I understand that. I really do understand. I understand because I've had to do my journey of healing, and I know that healing is not straightforward. I know that healing takes courage. I know that healing is not a one-time event. There's no timeline to it. Of course, it doesn't last forever. Well, if you're somebody who is interested in personal development, you're always growing. We're never ever going to stop growing as long as we're alive. And I hope that you're that kind of person who wants to, engage with stuff that will always make you grow and always stretch you and always show you parts of yourself that you weren't exposed to before. And I always like to say healing is self-discovery. When you start that process, you discover so many amazing things about yourself that you'll be wondering, how come I, deny myself this for so long? So, in order to help with that process, we have a challenge that starts on Monday. It's a journaling challenge, and I've been journaling since I was 14 when my father gave me my first diary, and I journal every day for maybe the next 10 years daily, and consistently journal. I write journals that other people uses now. I got some feedback from one of my journals today. So we're taking you through a free 7 days journal for women who have experienced trauma. You've started to engage with the story before, you've started to process, you understand some of it somewhat, but you realize that relationally you're not showing up as you would like to. You're not connecting. I mean, you might have thousands of Facebook friends, but they're not real people. They're not, well, they're real people, but they're not real close connection, because after Facebook shuts down, and if you're in person, you struggle to connect in person. It's not as easy for you to do. So we're doing a challenge that we're going to give you prompts every day, and every day I'm going to meet you in Zoom and have question and answer sessions and talk you through how to engage with the questions in a way that is going to be safe, and in a way that's not going to actually take you to places that you're not ready to go yet. So really, really going to guide you through the process. So I'm going to put the link for the challenge in the comment section of this video, and I hope that you'll join me. You are worth doing the work that it takes to be able to have deep, authentic connection with people who you know that you can call on whatever, and they can call on you. You're worth the effort that it takes to know what you need from support and what you can offer to people, and to not live your life in a vacuum where you're constantly searching for the next thing because you feel the next thing is going to make you happy, when really you have the key to your happiness. And if you will just give yourself permission to unlock that door, or to engage with um engage with someone to help you to walk that journey, then you'll find that you'll live an amazingly fulfilling life. So thank you for those who've joined me live. If you're asking questions, I'm not able to see your questions, so if you put them in the comment section, however, I will answer your questions. If you have any questions that you'd like to ask about the challenge, you can, I was going to say email me, no, not email me, but you can message me via Facebook, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. But the link will be in the comment section. You just put your email in, we'll respond, and the challenge starts on Monday. And I hope I'll see you there. Take care. Have a good night.